Solicitor General Jose Calida on Tuesday says the Office of the Ombudsman has already closed and terminated the probe into President Rodrigo Duterte stemming from the plunder complaint filed against him by Senator Antonio Trillanes. Calida says overall Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Carandang confirmed it to him in a letter dated February 12. Carandang in the letter says, quote, "The recommendation to terminate the investigation was approved by Deputy Ombudsman Cyril Ramos last November." Calida says he wrote a letter asking for the status of the investigation last Friday. He questions why the Office of the Ombudsman did not disclose the termination of the investigation. Calida says this is an injustice to Duterte. Trillanes filed a plunder complaint against Duterte in May 2016, alleging there is 2.4 billion pesos worth of deposits in Duterte's account, and that funds came from a possible scheme of hiring ghost employees in Davao City. Carandang was earlier suspended by Malacanang precisely over that investigation, saying the disclosure to media about details of his wealth was illegal. Carandang previously said the documents in his possession show a cash flow of almost 1 billion pesos. There is a standoff on the suspension, with Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales defying the suspension order because of a Supreme Court ruling that takes away the President's power to discipline a Deputy Ombudsman. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque vows to resign from his post if Senator Grace Poe's bill on fake news and similar initiatives become laws. Roque insists Malacanang does not condone fake news, even as some of its officials, including no less than President Rodrigo Duterte, have been accused of spreading false information. He says Poe's bill, which seeks to punish government officials who share fake news, is unconstitutional, as it goes against the constitutional provisions that protect freedom of expression. Roque says, quote, "I promise that if one such law is enacted by Congress, I will resign from my post and I will sue in front of the Supreme Court to challenge its constitutionality." He repeats his argument that the proposed law unduly singles out government officials. But Poe earlier said there is legal basis to hold government officials to a higher standard compared to other citizens. Davao City declares Senator Antonio Trillanes persona non grata after the lawmaker called President Rodrigo Duterte's hometown the most dangerous city in the Philippines. The Davao City Council approved the resolution filed by Vice Mayor Bernard Alag Tuesday. Alag says Trillanes, a staunch Duterte critic, made the claim during a recent forum with members of the Filipino community in Chicago last February 9. Trillanes, during the forum, described Davao as the most dangerous city in the Philippines when it was under Duterte, who was the city's mayor for more than 20 years. Trillanes said Davao City was #1 in terms of murder and rape cases when Duterte served as mayor, and that residents there were, quote, "so brainwashed that the city was among the safest places to live in the world." Alag says Trillanes' statement is an insult to the 1.6 million Davaoeños who are working hard every day to make our city safe. In response, Trillanes says, quote, "the truth definitely hurts." He says he based his statement on the December 2015 statistics of the Philippine National Police that Davao City has the highest incidence of murder and second highest in rape. Trillanes says, quote, "the people of Davao either know it but tolerate it out of fear, or they actually believe the lie that was fed to them that Davao City is the safest city in the world." Human Rights Watch says President Rodrigo Duterte violated international humanitarian law when he encouraged state forces to shoot female rebels in the vagina if they encounter them in the field. Duterte, while addressing a group of former rebels last week, ordered soldiers not to kill female rebels, but to shoot them in the vagina instead so that they would become useless.
Sige, yeah. Pili patay. Tulo. Ha? Tulo. Putang ina. Ayaw mo palkansi. Naibabay. Unsa, nagagunit og armas. Unsa, fighter yun. Amazona. Silas bisong haron dito. Og water ko na ninyo, inako inang sundalo. Ayog po, kana bantay. Ingna na inyo mga kauban. Ingon ni Mayor, ang order, na, ingna mga sundalo. Itong mabay, ingna nila. Tao karon naman siya. Order bago ni Mayor. Di lang daw mo pat yun. Pusilon mo bisong. Wala na bisong, wala na may silbi.
HRW Asia Division's Carlos Conde says, quote, "It encourages state forces to commit sexual violence during armed conflict, which is a violation of international humanitarian law." The official transcript from the communications office censored the words used by Duterte in his speech, where he used the Visayan word for vagina. The Geneva Conventions and its additional protocols, where the Philippines is a signatory, include the prohibition of violence to life and person, such as cruel treatment and torture, and outrages upon personal dignity. Cruel treatment includes sexual violence. The Pyeongchang Winter Olympics is freezing cold, but it might just be the hottest dating spot on the planet right now, with organizers dishing out a record 110,000 condoms. Organizers on the last night of the Winter Games have handed out the equivalent of 38 condoms per competitor. Competitors, support staff, and visiting journalists have put their profiles on dating and hookup app Tinder. An American speed skater is supposedly among the athletes on Tinder, but several other competitors appear to have taken down their profiles after news spread that Olympic competitors were using the app. Tinder confirms there was a massive surge in the app's use in the Pyeongchang area.